The dash is back. Had a little bit of miscommunication apparently with the blaster guy. Because when I took it over there, I mean, he features soda blasting. That's his main thing. And I told him, you know, this is what I want. I want it soda blasted. And then, of course, we talked about a bunch of other stuff and blah, blah, blah. And he probably had someone else do it. So when I picked it up, I didn't really think too much of it. Then I got it home and started looking at it. And it is rough. I mean rough. Rough. So I called him up. Oh yeah, we use some type of coal slag or something like that as a thing. And I said, well, we talked about soda blasting. Oh, this is much better because your primer will stick better. Okay. That's true. But it was so rough that what I'm doing now is sanding it down with 320. It does come right down quick. It's not like I gotta sand. I just gotta go over it a few times and it's about the way I want it. But I got a long ways to go. I don't have to do much back here because it's covered. I did have one dent right here. I've already taken a hammer and dolly and just gave it one little bump. And it feels pretty good, but it's still got a little low spot there. So I'm going to clean that. A little dab of glazing putty on there. And I got to just keep sanding. I got to get all the nooks and crannies. It's going to add probably 4 hours to the project that I didn't really need. Because really, soda blasting, if you use a good acid etch cleaner, it will produce the surface that you want to put the primer on. So, but that's okay. It's going to stick real good. So anyway, that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. I just kind of took a look at it tonight to see how much trouble it's going to be, but it's coming off pretty good. I probably spent half hour right there, so it's not too bad. That's about done, and I got the rest of this to do. To be continued. The sealer went on real nice. I had the gun set really low, and I did all the nooks and crannies. And then I opened it up and shot it, and I did all the edges. It looks really good. I got about another half hour before I put the primer surfacer on, but I don't think I'm going to have to do much to it because the only spot I had was right there, and it's pretty much gone. So it's coming along. I don't know if I'll be shooting black today, but I surely will be getting that primer surfacer on, and hopefully later I'll be doing a little bit of sanding on it. 2 coats of primer surfacer over top of the sealer, and there's really little or no imperfections anywhere. A couple nibs here and there. Other than that, it looks really good. And where that little dent was, I can't see anything there. It's gone. So everything's looking really good here. Of course, the back panel there, I don't have to really do anything to it. But so there we are. Got to do some little sanding now, just real light, probably with some 400, just to get any nibs out and any small imperfections. And it will be ready for the black. Just about done wet sanding the entire dashboard, all the nooks and crannies. I used a regular hard block for some of the areas, but I had to switch to the sponge because there's so many little nooks and crannies. And the primer went on super smooth, so all I really had to do was scuff it and get some bite for the sealer and the paint. And I really didn't find any imperfections. That area there is good. So we're getting really close to putting on some black paint probably next weekend. Here's the next issue I have. These little pieces here that go in here. They're basically chrome plated pot metal, and they've got reliefs where the letters are, and they got this chrome area that sticks out. So what I'm going to have to do is tape off that chrome area and put them in my glass bead blaster and see what happens. We'll find out. This will be the first experiment. I put some vinyl, like pinstriping tape around the chrome areas, and we're going to lightly blast it, and hopefully that stuff will stay on. I'll have to do it real carefully and see what happens. But I did notice that this, it looks like they painted this lacquer right over the chrome, so it does come off super easy. So we will see what happens. That took about 30 seconds to take that off, and I was very careful not to aim right at this area here. We'll peel that off, and hopefully that stuff is still all shiny. There we go. That's kind of what I was looking for. And I'll have to retape that, of course, to paint it, but that worked out well. I just got to be really careful taping it and shooting it. But it looks like I didn't mess with the chrome, so that's awesome. Now I got 2 more to do. Now I also have this speaker screen to deal with, and it's the chrome looks pretty good on it. I am going to polish that first. But I did notice another thing. When they glued that, there's a little like a piece of cloth that goes behind your speaker cloth, and they glued it, and they got so much glue on it actually plugged up some of the veins there. So I'm going to try to get that off. But I think I'm going to polish it first, the chrome, and then tape off the chrome and then run it in the glass beads, and we'll see what we get. Well, I moved this operation into the office so I could see what the heck I'm doing. And I'm using this old tape here. It's about 10-15 years old. I was having trouble getting it to stick where I wanted it to. And then I realized if I started it here and stretched it and then wrapped it around, it stuck perfectly. So I think that tape is really old. But some reason stretching it, I don't know if it revitalizes the sticky on it or what, but it stuck really good. So I've got quite a bit more to go. It's kind of a pain in the butt to tape all that off. And I'll get it in the bead blaster. Well, that was a pain in the butt. Wow, what a pain in the butt that was. I'm going to hit it real light. I'm not going to get carried away with this. Just to knock off the paint, make the surface ready for the new paint. In the blaster it goes. Fresh out of the blaster, and it didn't take much. That lacquer just popped right off of there. And I was able to get the rest of most of the residue off where that glue was. Now I'm going to pull the tape off, see what it looks like. I just pulled the tape off. Chrome looks good. So I'm done with that for now until the dash is ready to paint, and it's all going to be done at once.